this video we will discuss the basics of the service blueprint. First, we explain what the service blueprint is and why you could use it. Then we show you when to use the service blueprint. In which phase of the project do you use the service blueprint? Thereafter, we discuss the elements that are used within the service blueprint and we give an example. Finally, we explain how you should make a service blueprint with your colleagues. What is a service blueprint and why do you need it? The service blueprint is a tool for mapping processes. An important advantage of the service blueprint is that it clearly shows the interaction between the customer and the organization. This mapping tool is mainly used in service environments. So, now we know what the service blueprint is and why you need this mapping tool. However, when do you exactly use this service blueprint? So, before you even start with any mapping tool, you already described the main organizational problem and goal. And you decided that the service blueprint will help you to solve the problem. The first step is to understand the current situation of the process. What are the activities that belong to the process? Which bottlenecks do you see in the process and which one affects your main problem? You can map these with the service blueprint. Furthermore, you could also use the service blueprint to describe the target situation or your future state. In this case, you can determine which obstacles you have to work on. So, now we're going to discuss the key elements of the service blueprint. Every service blueprint consists of 5 swimming lanes. The most important lane is the customer journey. In this lane, you describe all steps that the customer goes through. For example, when ordering food. Above this, you can find the evidence lane. This lane describes the tangible and intangible evidences of the customer. For example, when the customer wants to order some foods, an evidence could be a menu card. Now we discuss the front stage action lane. This lane contains all the activities where there is direct, face-to-face interaction with the customer. This can be the serving of the food. In addition to the front stage lane, there is a lane with the backstage actions. For example, food is prepared in the kitchen. These are backstage actions. These are actions where there isn't face-to-face contact with the customer. The lane with support processes shows all actions that are needed to support the whole. This may involve the support of any home delivery website. In addition to these 5 lanes, there are 3 horizontal lines. You find the line of interaction below the customer journey. This line shows the face-to-face interaction between the customer and employee. For example, when the food is given to the customer. The second line is the line of visibility. All activities below this line of visibility do not have any face-to-face contact with the customer. Then the third and last line, the line of internal interaction. As the name describes, this line shows the internal interaction between the support processes. Here you see an example of the service blueprint. In the first lane, you see examples of tangible and non-tangible materials that could be seen by any restaurant visitor. For example, tables, menu card, waitress, etc. The second lane shows the actions taken by the customer or restaurant guest. The guest chooses a table, receives the menu card, chooses a meal, gives the order and eats the meal. The front stage lane shows all actions taken by the waitress and directly related to the customer, so when there is face-to-face contact. Behind the scenes, so below the line of visibility, all backstage actions are shown to give the customer its order. Interactions are the actions that are made to let the guest eat. For example, here's the receipt of the order and the cooking of the meal. The support processes and IT lane contains the application that are required to receive and read the order, for example. In addition, with the waste button you can indicate which wastes there are in the process. So, now we have seen an example of the service blueprint. Now we give you some advice how you can make a blueprint with a group of colleagues. First, you plan a meeting of about 3 hours. In advance, you ensure that the participants are aware of the problem and the purpose of the project. You take different colors of post-its and a roll of paper from 1 meter high and 4 to 5 meters wide. On this sheet you make the different lanes as mentioned above in the video. You agree with the group where a post-it is used for. Which one do you use for the process steps and which ones do you use for the waste. Next step is to write the key elements of the service blueprint and post-its and stick it at the beginning of the lanes. Then you determine what the start and the end point of the process is. After this, you write the different process steps on post-its and put it into the lanes. You simultaneously add the wastes in the process. In this video we discussed what the service blueprint is and how you can make a service blueprint with a group of colleagues. An important note. It is important to make a service blueprint with the different participants of the process. They have to learn to understand the process, and it's meaningful that those participants understand each other. Therefore, never make a service blueprint on your own.